All right. Iris back at? Did she come? Did she give you a notice that she wasn't coming or anything?
Not today, no.
She's probably trying to. I brought my laptop here with me, so she's probably trying to understand how to use her own laptop to log into Zoom. She probably, I have a feeling this might be it. Because she didn't tell me anything. I talked to her today. She didn't say nothing. So I don't know.
Oh, you guys out of the house. Might be time to go get that movie. This is my time. There ain't nobody home. All right, we are in Ezekiel 36, and we finished 31. Verse 31. Viv.
Yeah, let me get there.
What is it?
Ezequiel 36, 31.
You got double duty. Sorry. So sorry. Yes, and like I said,
Ezekiel, what? Say that again, please.
Ezekiel chapter is 36.
Yes, you sent a message just now. Cannot log on to Zoom.
Verse 31.
Did you hear me?
Yeah, I heard you. I don't know how to help her because she's always
Yeah.
on Zoom.
Oh no. Okay.
Bianca, you might have to call your mom and walk her through your steps because I don't know what she did different today. Like if it was her first time, then I could say, okay, she's got to do this and this, but she has the link. There's no
For the
Get it.
phone number.
My sister should be around though. Okay. All right. Well, I guess I'll call her.
Yeah, and there's no passcodes. All right, so like I was saying, we spent a full day on verse 30, and we spent a full day on verse 31.
Pasamos un día entero en verso 30 y otro día entero en verso 31.
Why does it sound like you keep laughing? Huh?
No.
Funny. Huh?
Oh, because I kept trying to put the video, but I see you disabled it for everyone.
Not for everyone, just you. Because you
Oh.
your lamp.
Oh, sorry.
El verso 31 lo hemos visto ya 2 veces.
All right, so let's look what's going to
Okay.
happen in verse 32 and see how far we get.
Ahora vamos a ir al verso 32.
It says, "And not for your sake do I this, saith Yahuwah Elohim, be it known unto you, be ashamed and confounded for your own ways, O house of Yasharel."
No lo hago por vosotros, dice Yahuwah, sabedlo bien, avergonzaos y cubríos de confusión por vuestras iniquidades, casa de Israel.
What is the key word in that whole verse there?
¿Cuál es la palabra de clave de esa frase entero?
It was your ways to me.
Because I'm not doing this for your sake, but for my sake.
All of that sounds good, but what is the noun there?
Let me see. ¿Cuál es la palabra?
Who's the subject?
Yasharel.
Yeah.
Sustantivo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why not
Yasharel.
world?
They should be ashamed of themselves.
But why not take the word Israel out of there? Can you take the word Israel out of there?
¿Podemos sacar la palabra Israel afuera de ahí?
I don't think so.
No.
No.
So can I take, O house of Israel, and say world?
¿Puedo sacar la casa de Israel ahí, poner mundo?
Well, there's different worlds. Depends on what
Well,
world
let's
you're
just
talking about.
say, because you're not Christian enough for me.
Hay diferentes mundos.
So I want to say it's for everybody, sister, and not no
Oh.
stupid just Israel. It's
Yo
the
quiero decir
world.
que es para todo el mundo y no solamente para Israel, pero es el mundo.
Now we're talking about that other world.
Well, I want it to be everybody.
Estamos hablando de otro mundo, pero yo quiero que sea todo el mundo.
Like it can't be. He said the house of Israel.
Exactly.
Él dijo la casa de Israel.
So if it says just house of Israel, is this fair?
Y solamente dice la casa de Israel. ¿Esto es justo?
Yes.
think it's
Even
fair.
so.
I think it's fair because Israel had to go through a whole lot of things just to have that spot too. You know, I mean, we messed
So
it up
wait,
for
but wait a
ourselves,
second.
but what I'm saying is, huh?
Wait a second. I see what you're saying, but like that was a long time ago, and now we're all one.
Israel tuvo que pasar por mucho para tener esa posición.
So
Pero
I
esto
feel,
era hace tiempo y ahora somos uno.
I feel that anybody can be Israel.
Cualquiera puede ser Israel.
If I raise my hands and I bow my head, say the sinner's prayer, I'm Israel then. If that's what
Sí.
it's talking about.
Si yo bajo la cabeza, alzo las manos, digo la oración de los pecadores, entonces soy parte de la casa de Israel.
Would that be a logical statement?
¿Eso
Okay.
es lógico?
The only problem with that is that Israel got punished and you didn't.
But you
Problema
didn't get
con eso que
punished.
Israel hubo castigado, pero usted no.
Say again?
You didn't get punished. You're living in America.
A ti no te castigaron porque tú vives en América.
Yeah.
Question was
Sí.
that is it fair that Yah chose house of Israel and no one else?
Right.
My saying is he is, because it says in Deuteronomy 7:6-7.
Okay. Bye.
Yeah,
Es
Deuteronomy
justo.
chapter 7.
Deuteronomio 7, ¿es justo que el Padre solamente escogió a Israel?
Yeah, 6:7, where it says, "For thou art a Kadesh people unto Yahweh thy Elohim. Yahweh thy Elohim has chosen thee." That was what he
And
said.
special
Has
people.
chosen
And
thee
to
to be a
himself.
special people unto himself above all people that are upon the face of the earth. Yahweh did not set his love upon you, nor chose you, because ye were more in number than any people, for you were the fewest of all, but because Yahweh loved you, and because he would keep the oath which he had sworn unto your fathers. This is verse 8. Has Yahweh brought you out with a mighty hand
Right.
and redeemed you out of the house of bondmen from the hand of Pharaoh, king of Egypt.
You read 7 and 8?
Yeah, and I
Yes.
guess 9 too, right?
Yeah, not good to go to 9. Therefore,
Know therefore that Yahweh thy Elohim, he is Yah, the faithful Yah, which keepeth covenant
then,
and mercy with them that love him and keep his commandments to 1,000 generations. And
that's it. Stop there.
that's it, right?
Deuteronomio 7, 7 a 9. No por ser vosotros más que todos los pueblos os ha querido Yahuwah y os has escogido, pues vosotros erais el más insignificante de todos los pueblos, sino por cuanto Yahuwah os amó y quiso guardar el juramento que juró a vuestros padres, os ha sacado a Yahuwah con mano poderosa y os ha rescatado de servidumbre de la mano de Faraón, rey de Egipto, Conoce pues que Yahuwah su Dios, Dios fiel, que guarda el pacto y la misericordia a los que le aman y guardan sus mandamientos hasta 1000 generaciones.
Now, that is undisputable.
Esto no puede ser indisputable. Oh, Iris, you there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Eso no puede ser algo que se disputa.
What do I mean by undisputable?
¿Qué quiere decir que no se disputa?
There's no argument.
There's no debate.
No hay argumento ni nada que se pueda decir para poder argumentar.
He told them why he chose them, not because they were special.
Él les dijo por qué escogió eso, no porque eran especiales,
Although they were,
aunque lo eran,
meaning that during the overthrow, the attempted overthrow, Israel had no part of that.
Israel no tenía parte de eso cuando trataron de apoderarse de ello,
But the nations did.
pero las naciones sí.
What overthrow?
I can't hear you.
What'd you
What
say?
overthrow?
No. ¿De qué estaban hablando cuando se referían a que lo tomaran a ellos, que lo vencieran?
Tower of Babel.
Una batalla.
Good job. You guys are sharp today. What do you mean by the Tower of Babel?
¿Qué quiere decir con la torre de Babel?
They wanted to kill God, right?
Querían matar
they
a
wanted
Dios.
to overthrow the Most High.
Querían salir echar afuera al Todopoderoso.
They wanted and replace him with their gods of sticks. and
Querían
wood.
reemplazarlo con sus dioses.
What have they done on the earth?
What have they done?
What have they done on the earth? They couldn't do it in the heavens.
¿Qué hicieron ellos en la tierra?
Destroyed it.
They overthrew it.
Ellos se apoderaron.
What do we worship now?
¿Qué adoramos nosotros hoy en día? Anything but God?
Sticks and wood.
Palos y
I mean, stone and wood. Sorry. Stone and wood,
Yeah.
ídolos de madera y piedra.
which is what Ezekiel said they were going to do.
Lo
You
mismo
worship
que
gods
Ezequiel
of wood
dijo
and
que ellos
stone.
van a hacer.
Look at Psalms 83.
Salmos 83.
Psalms 83:1. Keep not thou silence, O Yahuwah, and hold not thy peace, and be not still, O Yahuwah. For lo, thine enemies maketh a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up thy head, and they have taken crafty counsel against thy people, Yasharel, and consulted against thy hidden one, Yahusha. They have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Yasharel may no more in remembrance.
83, Salmos
Psalms 83, verses 1 through 4.
del 1 a 4.
Salmo 83, 1 a 4. Oh Yahuwah, no guardes silencio, no calles, oh Yahuwah, ni te estés quieto, porque aquí que ruguen tus enemigos y los que te aborrecen alzan cabeza. Contra tu pueblo han consultado astuta y secretamente y han entrado en consejo contra tus protegidos. Han dicho, venid y destruyámoslos para que no sean nación.
Now, if you read further on there, it's going to list the enemies of the Most High.
Si continúas leyendo, eso te va a dar un listado de los enemigos que son los enemigos de Yahweh.
And verse 36, 83, verse 6, here's the main one, the tabernacle of Edom. and the Ishmaelites, and the Moabites, and the Hagareans, Gebal, and Ammon, Amalek, the Philistines, with the inhabitants of Tyre. Ashur also is joined with them, and they have holpen the children of Lot, Selah.
Porque se confabulan de corazón a una contra ti, han hecho alianza las tiendas de los edomitas y de los ismaelitas, Moab y los agarenos, Gebal, Amón y Amalek, los filisteos y los habitantes de Tiro. También el asirio se ha juntado con ellos, sirven de brazo a los hijos de Lot, Selah.
Who were the children of Lot?
¿Quiénes eran los hijos de Lot?
Moabites.
Los
And?
moabitas.
Verse 7.
Siete.
Moabites, and who else is there? Verse 7.
Malachi.
Ammon.
Hmm.
The Amorites and the Amalekites. Who's the Amorites and who's the
Amalekitas.
Amalekites?
¿Y malaquitas?
Those Japanese?
Japan and fake Jews.
Yeah. There
The
it
what?
is.
Japón, japonés y judíos falsos.
Ok, o sea, japoneses y judíos falsos.
Amalekites are Khazarians. Those are Jewish people. And Ammon, those are your Chinese Amorites.
Los chinos, los amoritas.
And Edom is all of Rome. All of your Roman and your Ishmaelites.
Who's
Oh,
Gebal?
Los edomitas son todo Europa y los ismaelitas.
What did you say?
Who's Gebal? Gebal.
Gebal. Gebal, right? Let's just look at the Strong's version of that, which is H1381, right? Gebal, which is the same as a region of the Edomians. Who is Edom?
Right.
Same. It's the same. Edomites. They're
Yeah.
cousins. I don't have to tell you. It says right there. Phoenicians, the Greeks. There's a chain of hills: Rome, Italy, mountains, Gebal, Phoenicians.
Veneceos, Italia, Roma.
Nothing changed. These
Nada
people were enemies of the Most High. By the way, when the Messiah was on earth, who came after him?
Cuando el Mesías estaba en la tierra, ¿quién vino a quién eran sus acusadores?
Judíos.
Who came to get him in the middle of the night? What soldiers?
Oh, the Pharisees.
Yeah,
Roman.
Roman soldiers.
No.
Oh, los soldados romanos vinieron a buscarlo en medio de la noche cuando lo captaron.
And when the Caesars were in power, who were their lampposts? Who did they make lamps out of?
Heads.
The heads, or the bodies, really, of Hebrews. They've had a hatred that has never ceased.
Te han tenido un odio que nunca tuvo fin.
And there's a belief that we all get along. The only reason why everybody wants to get along now is because truth is starting to come out.
El único hecho por el cual todos se quieren llevar hoy en día bien es porque la verdad ha comenzado a salir.
That the Most High has a covenant with one people.
Que el Todopoderoso tiene un convenio con un solo pueblo.
And he does not have a covenant with anybody else.
Y él no tiene un convenio con nadie más.
So what do you have to do since there's no covenant with you? What must you do?
Si no hay un convenio contigo, ¿qué debes tú de hacer?
Acercarse.
¿Ah?
Yeah, your best bet is try to just live a righteous life.
No, man, that's not what they
You
do.
ain't got no.
No, they tell you it
There's
doesn't
no promise to
matter.
Ya no importa.
They tell you it doesn't matter,
Me dice que no importa.
right? Oh, we're all brothers.
Oh,
True.
somos todos hermanos.
And that's true, we are.
Eso es verdad y lo somos.
Because we're all brothers, does that mean everybody is eligible for the covenant?
Porque todos somos hermanos, quiere decir que todos somos elegibles para el convenio.
Hello? No.
Israel's chosen people. That's it.
What about all the other brothers? What about your other brothers?
¿Y qué pasa entonces con los demás
And
hermanos?
you're saying some crazy stuff, bro. I don't even know when you say Israel's chosen, that's it. I said we're all brothers, and you say, oh, Israel's chosen. But if you're my brother, doesn't that make me Israel?
Si tú eres mi hermano, eso no dice que yo soy hebreo.
It's like if I promise your brother something, and I'm supposed to give it to everybody if I've already promised it to your brother. If I say I'm gonna give you the car when you get 18, and you got 3 younger brothers.
You got a scripture?
Scripture.
I'm gonna give you a hint. Romans 9.
Vamos a Romanos 9.
I gave you Romans 9. What verse am I looking for?
¿Qué verso estoy buscando en Romanos 9?
15.
No. Before 10.
Antes del 10.
How about 6?
6.
4, right? 6.
Yeah, quiet. It's 4. Yeah.
Right? Yeah, 4 tells you who they are, but this says not all Israel which are of Israel, right?
Yeah.
Not all Israel counts, right?
Yeah.
Neither because they are the seed of Abraham are they all the children, but in Isaac or Yitzhak shall thy seed be called. Why Isaac?
¿Por qué Isaías? Perdón, Isaac, perdón, ¿por qué Isaac?
Whose father was Isaac?
¿Quién era el padre de Isaac? Abraham.
No, whose father?
Jacob.
Jacob.
Yeah. Because it was given to him.
There you go. Seed of Jacob. Through Jacob is the blessing, not through all of Abraham's children. So though they be, and people will tell you, well, what about this one? They were all brothers. But it's clearly saying here, just because you're brothers doesn't mean that you get the blessing.
El hecho de que sea hermano no quiere decir que tú recibas la bendición.
By the way, this is the New Testament.
Este es el Nuevo Testamento.
This is the Barit Hadashah.
Esto es el Berit Hashah.
You can't say you sticking in the Old Testament. You go to the New Testament. Let me see all that nonsense there. Here it is.
Aquí está en el Nuevo Testamento.
How about verse 3? For I could wish that myself were accursed for Mashiach, for my brethren, my kinsmen, according to the flesh, not promise, flesh. 9, verse 3,
9:3.
9:3, yes.
Porque deseará yo mismo ser anatema, separado de Cristo por amor a mis hermanos, los que son mis parientes según la carne.
Now, he goes on to be real clear what's what.
Él dice claramente qué es qué.
So it says, who are Christians? No, Israelites.
Israelitas, no cristianos.
To who pertaineth? What does the word pertaineth? And by the way, it's grayed out here.
Aquí que quiere decir la palabra a que pertenece, con qué tiene que ver.
What does pertain mean?
¿Qué quiere decir pertenecer?
It's like an ownership, right?
Yeah, belongs.
¿Ah?
Belongs.
O como que te pertenece.
When I say this pertains to you, this belongs to you. You get this.
Esto tiene que ver contigo, entonces quiere decir que eso es tuyo.
The adoption.
La adopción.
What adoption?
¿Qué adopción?
Northern Kingdom.
The kingdom, yes, the adoption, because we had to be adopted back in, right?
La adopción porque
So,
tuvimos que ser adoptados de nuevo.
It totally pertains to all of the promises about the adoption. So you can't go grabbing that one. So everything you see here, it's telling you who the covenants belong to, the promises belong to, all of the things in the New Testament. That's the adoption.
En el Nuevo
And
Testamento esa es
the
la
glory, right? The esteem, the praise of the Most High, that it belongs to them, to
La
the
estima.
covenants.
La estima, el convenio, todo le pertenece a ellos.
What covenants?
¿Qué convenios?
Old and new.
El viejo y el nuevo.
Every single covenant
Cada convenio
belongs to them.
le pertenece a ellos.
There is no covenant
No hay convenio
with anything outside of Israel.
con todo lo que es fuera de Israel.
Right? So when we see people saying a lot of things, they have to line it with scriptures.
Cuando vemos
Right.
que la gente habla, tiene que alinearlo con las escrituras.
Right? And it's who Messiah came and died for, the adoption, right? We were grafted back in.
Fuimos injertados de nuevo.
And the glory is the kingdom of heaven. That's the glory. That's the kingdom. It belongs to them,
Y el reino le pertenece a ellos.
right? The giving of the law. What law?
El dar la ley. ¿Qué ley?
Given.
The law, they say law of Moses, but it ain't
Yes.
law.
It was translated through Moses, but is the law of the Most High. And that belongs to who?
La ley del Todopoderoso. ¿Y le pertenece a quién?
Israel.
A Israel.
And the service of Yahuwah,
Y el servicio de Yahuwah.
that would be what?
Eso sería qué?
Levites.
That would be the Levites, but the services belongs to sacrifices and Sabbaths. Those are his
Sacrificio,
services.
sábado,
Feast.
The feast, that's right.
las fiestas
And the promises. What promises?
y las promesas. ¿Qué promesas?
Eternal life.
That's right.
La vida eterna.
All the promises.
Todas las promesas.
If you do this, I will be a Elohim to you. I
Si tú haces
will
esto, yo voy a hacer un
kill
enemigo
your
a ti.
enemy.
¿Ah?
He said, I will kill your enemy.
Mataré tus enemigos.
I will put you in your own land.
Te pondré en tu propia tierra.
I will take away your sin.
Quitaré tus pecados.
You will be my people,
Tú serás mi pueblo
and I'll be your God.
y yo sería tu Dios.
Those are the promises.
Esas son las promesas.
They pertain to them.
Tiene que ver con eso.
So when people talk about all this stuff, they miss this stuff. Whose are the fathers, and as of whom concerning the flesh, who came?
¿Quién viene?
The Mashiach.
The Messiah, Jesus the Christ. Yeah, that he came for that.
Él vino para eso.
According to the flesh, came who is over all. Is all mean over all people?
Repita again.
For which Christ came, who is over all. Yahuwah is blessed forever, so be it. Who is the all here?
Leyó el verso. ¿Qué es el todo ahí?
All his people.
All
Todo su pueblo.
who are pertained to the promise, not the whole world.
No el mundo entero, sino aquellos para quienes es la promesa.
Meaning that he came to cover them all Israel.
Quiere decir que él vino a cubrir a todo Israel.
He's over all.
Él está sobre todos.
He ain't messing with all. In fact, he's coming to kill the other alls
Él viene a matar todos los otros,
or the whole world.
todo el mundo.
He's coming to kill you.
Él va a venir a matarte.
And if he's not going to kill you, he's going to put you into slavery.
Si no, te va a poner en esclavitud.
Good. So much for waiting for baby Jesus.
¿Qué cosa? No esperando por el bebé.
Now,
Jesús.
Zakar said something very valid. If you were smart, if you were the other nations, I would try as hard as I could to keep those commandments and be nice to Israel.
Yo sería que tuviera que ser buena gente con Israel y seguir los mandamientos.
Why?
¿Por qué?
And they go into slavery.
Because you're going into slavery, but doesn't mean you're going to go into slavery, right?
Porque irías a
That's
esclavitud,
right.
pero no quiere decir que irías a esclavitud.
Yeah,
Like
either you go to
Joseph
slavery
was-
or you go to the pit, one or the other.
All right, but
Joseph was a slave, but he was still running things when he was a slave. Like,
right. Joseph was a perfect example of that. Though we are
José
in slavery,
fue un buen ejemplo sobre eso.
though we're in slavery, there's some still blessings you can reap out of that. You might be governor over, you could be in the land of Edom that's miserable, but you could be okay in Edom because you're the governor in Edom.
Rephrase that again. What do you mean?
Okay, good. I like that. In other words, just because you're in captivity,
El
like
hecho
we
de que
are
estés en
now,
cautiverio
doesn't mean you're getting beat and smashed every second.
no quiere decir que vas a ser maltratado todo el tiempo.
We are
like
in
the
captivity.
Pharisees.
We're in captivity,
Nosotros estamos en cautiverio,
but you're not getting it like your brothers. Some of your brothers are getting it. They're in the
pero tú
hood and
no
you're
pasas
warring
por,
every single day.
tú no pasas por la misma cosa que otros hermanos están pasando o la tiene tan mal o la está
Some of
pasando
us are
tan mal
living
como
well.
otros.
That ain't you.
And some living well, and
Mhm.
even in the captivity,
Hay
LeBron
algunos que están viviendo muy bien en cautiverio.
living pretty
Captivity.
good. Yeah.
I catch hell from the side and from the front every now and then, but the Most High still blesses.
El Todopoderoso de todas maneras te bendice, aunque algunas veces tú recibas un mal por aquí, otro mal por allá.
I'm still getting that work.
Estoy recibiendo eso de todas maneras,
But I'm getting breaks in between.
pero estoy recibiendo misericordia en algunas veces.
Right? Children graduated college, children are educated, smart, whatever, blah, 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 even though that's just being processed by this stupid world. But hey, man, it could be worse, yes?
Puede ser peor.
A lot worse.
It could be a lot worse.
Peor.
So there
Puede
are
ser.
blessings. Even in captivity, there are some blessings.
Aún en cautiverio algunas bendiciones.
I get to watch, I get to see the blessings that Edom is getting.
Puedo ver todas las bendiciones que Edom está recibiendo.
I get to see it,
Puedo verla.
and it doesn't pertain to me,
No, y no tiene que ver nada conmigo,
but I'm still waiting for who got next.
pero estoy todavía esperando que reciben próximo.
But the world is
Pero
is misguided because they're trying to tell you your trusting your genealogy doesn't make sense.
Pero el mundo, nosotros sabemos que el estar probando tu genealogía no tiene sentido.
But is that what it says here in the New Testament?
¿Es eso lo que nos dice aquí en el Nuevo Testamento?
Romans 3 and Romans 9 and 3, it says who or what?
Dice ahí Romanos 3, dice que
Kinsmen according to the flesh.
Wow.
I don't know how to translate kinsman.
Brother.
Parientes.
Pariente, ok. Pariente de acuerdo a la carne.
Relatives, fellow countrymen, cousins,
familiares,
kinfolk, according to the flesh,
de acuerdo a la carne,
who are Israelites.
que son israelitas.
This isn't according, did it say here to the faith and to those who believe?
Dice aquí que para aquellos que creen,
No.
No.
I can't.
So where do you get to inject that if it literally says according to the flesh?
si dice aquí que es de acuerdo a la carne, ¿de dónde tú sacas eso?
It tells you what he's talking about in verse 6 and 7, but
Dice de lo que está hablando en el 5 y 7,
but it's clearly telling you
Pero
who Christ came for.
claramente te está diciendo por quién él vino.
Does it say came for all believers?
Te dice que vino para todo creyente.
No. That's what Christianity
You don't get to
teaches.
add it then. You do not get to add it.
And even when they left Egypt, I'm pretty sure all of them didn't believe. But I mean,
Right. Well, that's why they died.
They put that thing on their door. But they didn't all believe, of course.
And my study guide here did something I didn't even do, and I ran over that. My bad. I just saw this. It says here, who are Israelites, right?
Yeah.
Romans 9 and 6 says, not as though the word of Yah had taken no effect, for they are not all Israel are Israel, right? It gives you the breakdown of Israelites, right? But it talk about adoption. And in Exodus is the first thing you see who the adoption belongs to. It says in Exodus 4 and 22, and thou shalt say unto Pharaoh, thus saith Yahuwah Elohim, Israel is my son, even my firstborn. There's your adoption.
The scripture.
Is Exodus 4 and 22.
Éxodo 4:22. Y dirás a Faraón, Yahuwah ha dicho así, Israel es mi hijo, mi primogénito.
Right? There's your adoption. That's when Israel got adopted in.
Eso fue cuando Israel fue adoptado.
It said Jews killed Egypt, so they out. I mean, Jews killed the Messiah, so they out. They
Los
don't.
judíos
get to do
mataron
that.
al Mesías, entonces ellos están fuera.
Only the Father can say that.
Solo el Padre puede decir eso.
In fact, to their point, if they say the Jews killed Messiah, that they're out, then what did Nicodemus say about Messiah?
Si ellos están fuera, entonces, ¿qué dijo Nicodemus? ¿Qué dijo del Mesías?
We know you're a man from the Most High.
It wasn't okay. So
He-
sorry, it wasn't
When-
Nicodemus. I take it out. Zachariah. What did Zachariah say about the Messiah?
¿Qué dijo Zacarías sobre el Mesías?
He said, there goes our salvation.
Y él dijo, mira, ahí va nuestra salvación.
Here it is.
Was he the guy that stood in the temple for a long time waiting for the sign? I remember. I
Sorry,
read a
John.
scripture.
No, sorry, John 11,
Juan 11,
verse 50. And in fact, start John 11. Let's get the whole chapter. Bible Hub, John 11, verse 49. Okay, so John 11, 141. But one of them named Caiaphas, who was high priest. So it was Caiaphas that was high priest. So John 11, 49. But one of them named Caiaphas, who was high priest that year, said to them, you know nothing at all. You do not realize that it is better for you that one man die for the people than that the whole nation perish. Caiaphas did not say this on his own. Instead, as high priest or Kohanim Gadol that year, he was prophesying that Mashiach would die for the nation.
Juan 11:49-50. Entonces Caifás, uno de ellos, sumo sacerdote aquel año, les dijo: vosotros no sabéis nada, ni pensáis que nos conviene que un hombre muera por el pueblo y no que toda la nación perezca.
So when people say they're disqualified,
Cuando
it's
la gente
because they
dice,
don't know the scriptures.
cuando la gente dice que están descalificados es porque no conocen las escrituras.
And if they'd say, well, you're picking and choosing, verse 48, if we let him thus alone, all men will believe on him, and that the Romans, right, Edom, shall come and take away both our place and nation. And one of them,
48.
yeah. So that's 48, right? So it's very clear.
48. Si le dejamos así, todos creerán en él y vendrán los romanos y destruirán nuestro lugar santo y nuestra nación.
There was already in the prophecy that one was going to die for all Yasharel. Translation.
No,
Verse I just read was John 11:48. Right? So it was very clear that it was already prophesied that one must die for Yasharel.
uno debe morir por Israel.
So even though Zakar said what they say, does that matter that the Jews so-called killed Messiah?
¿Importa el hecho de que los judíos mataran al Mesías?
No.
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 Who killed Messiah?
¿Quién mató al Mesías?
The Romans.
Los romanos dice que
Oh,
no.
it was a sacrifice. We
He
killed
was
him.
it was the only acceptable sacrifice to the Most High.
Fue el único sacrificio aceptable ante el Todopoderoso.
What? Why would a loving God
¿Por qué un Dios
sacrifice
querido
a human?
haría esto?
Anybody?
¿Alguien tiene algo que decir?
He had to die to redeem us back to the Father.
Tiene que morir para podernos redimir de nuevo hacia el Padre.
Covenants are made with blood. Like you have to have some kind of blood
But
sprinkled.
he had to be that sacrificial lamb.
So John 18, because it was said again, just in case you get high and say, I need two witnesses, right? Here's your second witness, John 18:12. Then the band and the captains of the officers of the Jews took Mashiach and bound him and led him away to Ananias first, for he was father-in-law to Caiaphas, which was the high priest of the same year. Now Caiaphas was he which gave counsel to the Jews that it was expedient to one of man should die for the people.
18:12, start.
John 18:12, yep.
Juan 18:12. Entonces la compañía de soldados, el tribuno y los alguaciles de los judíos prendieron a Yeshua y le ataron, 13, y le llevaron primeramente a Anás, porque era suegro de Caifás, que era sumo sacerdote aquel año, 14. ¿Era Caifás el que había dado el consejo a los judíos de que convenía que un solo hombre muriese por el pueblo?
Now, so Messiah was in the hands of his captives, the priests, the Pharisees, right? And then, outside was, hey, these are his disciples, and all of them that were denying him, right? Because they were staying way off. Verse 19, though, let's go look at that. the high priest, or the Kohanim Gadol, then asked Yahusha of his disciples and of his doctrine. And Yahusha answered him, I spake openly to the world. I even taught in the synagogue and in the temple, whether the Jews always resort, and in secret, I have said nothing. Why asked thou me? Ask them which heard me what I have said unto them, Jews. Behold, they know what I have said. John 18:19 through 21.
Juan 18, 19, 21. Y el sumo sacerdote preguntó a Yahusha acerca de sus discípulos y de su doctrina. Yahusha le respondió, yo públicamente he hablado al mundo, siempre he enseñado en la sinagoga y en el templo donde se reúnen todos los judíos y nada he hablado en oculto. Porque me preguntas a mí, pregunta a los que han oído, que les haya yo hablado he aquí, ellos saben lo que yo he dicho.
So he spoke openly to the world, brother. That's to
Él
the world.
Él le habló claramente al mundo.
Is that right?
¿Es eso verdad?
The word of Yahshua.
Wait, ma'am.
It says, yeah.
Hold on a dang burn rootin' tootin' highfalutin minute.
The Israelites in the temple. Those are the Israelites in the
How
temple.
do you know the world is not the world?
¿Cómo sabes tú que el mundo no es el mundo?
Well, it says, and in the temple where the Jews always resorted.
Yes. He isolates what world he's talking about.
Él,
Would that be right?
él aísla de qué mundo habla.
He has literally said what world he is specifying. It's
Él-
the world of Jews.
Él especifica de qué mundo está hablando del mundo de los judíos.
What verse? This is John 18. What verse do you know famous about John?
For God so loved the world? Porque,
yes.
por,
That's it.
¿qué verso famoso se dice de Juan?
So is this the same world?
16.
Well, we know John 3:16, but we do not know John 3:20.
Sabemos Juan 3:17.
John 18:20, rather.
Pero no sabemos Juan 3:18 al 20.
Just 15 verses ahead, and you see what world he was talking about. He wasn't talking about the whole
18 al
world.
20 nos dice de qué mundo él se refería.
And if you say, oh, stop it, it says world, it means world.
Y si tú dices que habla del mundo, que significa mundo.
Well, here it says world, and it don't mean world, it means the world of Judah.
Aquí está hablando, aquí mundo, aquí nos informa que el mundo no es mundo, sino el mundo de Judá.
But then they go, gotcha, brother. He spoke in the fields too, and he didn't say that here.
Dice que él no ha dicho eso ahí.
The question was, what about this doctrine that you're teaching the Jews?
Y la pregunta es, ¿y entonces qué pasa con esa doctrina que estás enseñando?
I spoke openly to them. I didn't do nothing in secret.
Yo no hice nada en secreto.
All Judah knows the promises. All Yasharel knows the promises.
Todo Israel conoce la promesa. Todo Judá conoce la promesa.
And therefore, all I did was recite what was in the scriptures.
Y yo lo que hice fue recitar lo que ya existía en las Escrituras.
Why then do you put me in jail? Aren't you
Pharisees? ¿Por qué entonces me pusieron en la cárcel? ¿No son fariseos?
Don't you speak to the world?
¿No le hablan ustedes al mundo?
Well, I would say not only that, the Romans have no idea what y'all talking about.
They don't have a clue.
Yo diría que los romanos no tienen idea de lo que estaban hablando.
The only thing that they did was, because they hated Jews, had no problem putting any insurrector to death. They love that. Yeah, give him up.
Ellos lo dijeron, denle, entréguenlo.
But even Pilate didn't want to dirty his hands with this stuff. His wife warned him. I had a dream. Don't mess with this man. He's innocent.
Ni aún Pilato quería tener nada que ver con él.
Pilate said, listen, I find no problem, no guilt with this man. But if you want him to die, hang him.
Pilato le dijo, yo no encuentro ninguna culpa en este hombre, pero si ustedes quieren matarlo, pues, cuélguenlo.
Now, which in most cases, most likely, he probably would have listened to his wife. But in that situation, he just said, hey, you know what?
But there was a rule for the Romans that anybody was a rebel who would not follow, according to the Church of Rome, must be crucified. Rebels are always crucified. That's Roman custom.
La costumbre en aquel entonces era que los que eran rebeldes se crucificaban.
What do you do about that? It's right here in your face. Is it all over my face? Yeah, buddy. You've been love dancing. Right here. It's right here in your face.
Aquí está todo en tu cara.
He's speaking to the world of Yasharel. He is
Él
not
está
talking.
hablando al mundo de Israel.
He's not rocking with nobody else.
Él no está con otro, sino con Israel.
And he was about to be crucified. So you think if he was trying to save himself, he could have said, well, I wasn't talking just to Israel.
Si hubiera querido salvarse, hubiera dicho, no, yo no solo le hablo a Israel.
If he had said I was talking to those dirty heathens, then the Pharisees would have been, say on, brother, we agree with you.
Si hubiera estado hablando a otros, los fariseos hubieran dicho, ok, está bien, estamos de acuerdo.
Wow, this got him killed. The question was your doctrine that you're teaching there, buddy. We don't like it.
La cuestión fue que la doctrina que tú estabas enseñando, nosotros no gustamos de ella.
And we read before, if he keeps talking, he's going to lead them all to follow him.
Todos iban a...
Right? We read that in John 11. John 11:48. If we let him thus alone, all men will believe on him, and the Romans shall come and take away both our place and nation. What's this talking about? 11 and 48. What does that mean? Who's all there? And that's another all, by the way. That's an A-L-L all.
You want me to read 48?
Huh?
You want me to read? Oh, no, we read it already.
We read it already. Sorry. If we let him thus alone, all men will believe on him. All men of the world?
Todo hombre creería en él. Todos los hombres, no.
Are they worried? Or, by the way, are the Jews worried about the whole world believing on Messiah?
No.
¿Estaban los judíos preocupados que todos los hombres creerían en el Mesías? No.
These Pharisees separated themselves. They want nothing to do with the world.
Ellos se separaron del mundo. Ellos no querían tener nada que ver con el mundo, los fariseos.
They want to be leaders over who?
Ellos querían ser líderes sobre quién?
Israel.
Sobre Israel.
What are they worried about here?
¿Qué preocupación tenían ellos?
You have no power.
Social status.
Both of you are right. Say it again.
Their social status.
Their status amongst who?
Israel.
Jews.
Ellos estaban preocupados por su estatus entre los judíos.
So the all here is all the Jews. And if the Jews believe on the Messiah, what role will the Pharisees have?
Si los judíos creyeran en el Mesías, ¿cuáles eran los roles entonces de los fariseos?
You will have nothing.
Oh, no. No. They know the prophecy. Punishment. We're going to
Castigo.
read that in Ezekiel, coming chapters. They get punished.
Hubieran sido castigados.
But I mean, they won't have that power, that
Yes.
status.
That's right. They're not going to have, nobody's going to be running up to them, kissing their ring, asking for a blessing. Sounds like Christian church, right? Right.
Yeah,
At the
that's what
head of the
going on.
table, right? Moving out of their way when they come through town, afraid to touch them because they're kosher.
Yeah.
None of that stuff, all that goes away. Now it's get out of here, ninja. Get in line with the rest of us.
You've been lying to us.
They're like, who are you? I'm still a priest. No, you're not. He's the high priest. Wait. You don't get to talk. Yes, I do. Now they get smacked. They didn't want that. They love their esteem. Messiah said you love to sit where? At the front of the table.
Les decía que yo le cantaba estar sentado en las primeras filas.
You love to be recognized in the square. He's told them what their
Me
problem.
gustaban que los reconocieran en las plazas.
They didn't want. Can you imagine being the most important people in all of Israel, and then this one guy comes?
Que tú te imaginas que tú seas el más importante de todo Israel y de repente viene este hombre.
And the crowds follow him.
Y la masa de gente lo siguen a él entonces.
He's doing signs and wonders.
Él está haciendo maravillas y da señales.
And the crowds are eating it up.
Y la masa de gente le cree.
This says if we leave him alone, all the Jews would follow him.
Dice que si lo hubieran dejado, todo lo hubieran seguido.
I thought the Christians said that the Jews rejected Jesus.
Yo pensé que los cristianos decían que los judíos rechazaron a
Well, I'm on fire right
Jesús.
now.
The people will probably say, where have you been all my
All the
life?
cylinders. Bouncing off the rope, they throwing a jab, right in the gut. Oh, they leaning over. I do the Popeye whirlwind. Oh, uppercut. This is an uppercut. They said that the Jews rejected Jesus.
Ellos dijeron que los judíos rechazaron a Jesús.
Well, the priest here saying that the Jews are going to follow him even more.
Dicen que los judíos lo van a seguir aún más.
Who's lying to you?
¿Quién te está mintiendo?
God, when he goes into the temple at one of the feasts, he says he's the light of the world. And that
Cuando él entra al templo, dice que él es la luz del mundo.
they that believe in him shall never thirst. And they started following him too.
Y que el que cree en él nunca tiene sed. Y lo siguieron y comenzaron a seguirlo.
Where did we get that the Jews rejected Jesus? And
¿De dónde sacamos que los judíos rechazaron a Jesús?
The Pharisees are not that many people.
Los fariseos no son tanta gente.
They're just two families. Somebody's been lying greatly.
Alguien ha estado mintiendo.
The Pharisees here are worried about what? That everybody's going to follow him.
Los fariseos aquí están preocupados de que todo el mundo lo iba a seguir a él.
He sounds pretty popular.
Él como que es muy popular.
I was going to tell you he sounds great, but you all know he sounds great. Right? That better be yes. He is amazing, right? And they're finding out that he draws a crowd and he knows the scripture.
Ellos saben que él atrae al pueblo.
How do we know he knows the scriptures?
Y saben que él conoce las escrituras. ¿Cómo saben que él conoce las escrituras?
Get it before Esther. I don't want her being the star of the class. How do we know this?
I'm sorry, what happened?
I said, how do we know that Yeshua knew, or Yahusha knew the scriptures?
He spoke them. That would just come out. He knew it.
Él conocía las escrituras porque él hablaba de ellas, se refería a ellas.
Did Nicodemus say he knew the scriptures?
Huh?
Did Nicodemus say he knew the script? He knew he was well versed in the scriptures.
Luke 2?
Wasn't he? Sorry, I'm so sorry. Go ahead.
Go ahead. No, because maybe you're about to do it. Go ahead. I got faith in you.
No,
My mic is across.
no. I just remembered that he would school them on it all the time.
Well, no, he was not. He schooled, not was schooled.
School.
He schooled. Luke
Yeah, like
2:41. Every year, Yahusha's parents went to Jerusalem to the festival of the Pesach. When he was 12 years old, they went up to the festival according to the custom, not taxes. After the festival was over, while his parents were returning home, the boys, Yahusha, stayed behind in Jerusalem, but they were unaware of it. Thinking he was in their company, they traveled on for a day, and then they began to look for him among their relatives and friends. And when they did not find him, they went back to Jerusalem to look for him. After 3 days, this is some trifling behind parents. After 3 days, they found him where? In the temple courts, sitting among the teachers. How long was he there for?
3 days.
3 days, listening to them and asking them questions. And everyone who heard him was amazed at his understanding and his answers. And when his so-called parents saw him, they were astonished. His mother said to him, "Son, why have you treated us like this? Your father and I have been anxiously searching for you. Why are you," he said, "why are you searching for me?" He asked. "Do you not know I have to be in my father's house?" But they did not understand what he was saying to them. Then he went, okay, no, that's fine. Just 49, 41 through 49.
And Luke
chapter 2, verses 41 through 49.
Lucas capítulo 2, verso 41 a verso 49.
You want to read that?
Yeah. Iban sus padres todos los años a Jerusalén en la fiesta de la Pascua, y cuando tuvo 12 años subieron a Jerusalén conforme a la costumbre de la fiesta. Al regresar ellos acabada la fiesta, se quedó el niño en Jerusalén sin que lo supiesen José y su madre. Y pensando que estaba entre la compañía, anduvieron camino de un día y le buscaban entre los parientes y los conocidos, pero como no le hallaron, volvieron a Jerusalén buscándole. Y aconteció que 3 días después le hallaron en el templo sentado al medio de los doctores de la ley, oyéndoles y preguntándoles. Y todos los que le oían se maravillaban de su inteligencia y de sus respuestas. Cuando le vieron, se sorprendieron, y le dijo su madre: "Hijo, ¿por qué nos has hecho así? He aquí tu padre y yo te hemos buscado con angustia". Entonces él les dijo: "¿Por qué me buscabais? ¿No sabéis que en los negocios de mi padre me es necesario estar?" Verse 49.
Awesome. By the way, verse 46 tells you what about Messiah for 3 days? What did he do for 3 days? Is there food in the temple, by the way?
Oh my God. Vivian, take over for a minute, please. Thank you.
Okay, no, hay comida en el templo que hacía por 3 días.
No, there's bread, but not in the temple. He was there and fasted for 3 days.
Él ayunó por 3 días.
What was important to him?
¿Qué era importante para él?
He was listen to doctrine or doctors of the law, that means, right? Instructors, doctors, and he was questioning them, interrogating them.
Escuchando las leyes o las doctrinas o los doctores de la ley.
Non-stop, 3 days.
Sin parar, pero 3 días.
We get tired after a couple, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, man. We got to go. How long are you going to keep teaching for?
Oh, you sound very low.
Yeah, we get tired. We after 20 minutes, right? We go, oh, how long are you going to keep teaching for?
Nosotros nos cansamos después de 20 minutos. Preguntamos cuánto vas a enseñar para.
He has the ruach.
Yeah. Well,
Tiene ruach.
no, it's because he understood what mattered.
Él entendía lo que valió la pena.
He was in his father's. He told his parents, how did you know not to look? First of all, you trifling behind parents. And don't tell me Mary was perfect, because this ignorant behind woman lost her kid.
Well, there's a lot of people.
Right?
Oh, okay, Esther.
Él perdió su hijo.
Note to self, don't let Livy hang out with Esther, because Esther will tell you, well, you know, she was hanging around a lot of my relatives.
Esther
So,
is
you know,
amazing.
damn.
Esther's an amazing babysitter. She always brings little kiddos.
Yeah, they was going a day. They was going a day before they realized he wasn't there.
Yeah, for a whole damn
Él ya había estado perdido por un día antes que fueron a buscarlo.
Mommy didn't think son needs some water or something. It was hot. You
Ella no
no,
creía
no.
que necesitaba agua, estaba caliente.
You don't check on your kid throughout it. What? Yo, okay, so yes, he's with your relatives, right?
Yeah.
But at some point, the kid tells you where he is.
Entonces estaba con los parientes, pero él debía entonces decirles dónde
They
estaba,
did
¿no?
some trifling assuming. No, they were partying their behind off.
Ellos estaban
I
gozándola.
didn't even ask his wife, like, hey, have you checked on our son?
Nah, he's with family. Come on, let's keep festivaling. This tells you that the festivals were real. They were about it. They couldn't even remember their own kid.
Eso era verdad, estaban con la familia.
It took them a day to go, hey, has anybody seen Masha? Has anyone seen Yahusha?
Esto le cogió un día, ¿alguien ha visto el Mashiach?
And they say, well, I thought he was with you. Oh, no, he must be with cousin in them.
Yo creía que estaba con el primo y ellos.
They kept going.
Ellos siguieron.
Then it was bedtime. Has anyone seen Yahusha? Nah. What did it say?
Fuera,
Okay, then they
Bedtime. Well, yeah.
they headed back.
Ellos regresaron.
And they didn't even know where to look. He said, how does it that you didn't know where to find me?
Yeah, usually you tuck your child in.
He said, yo, come on, stop it. You know where listen, are you going to look for me in the club? Or the massage parlor? Or should you check my father's house? Because clearly you know where to find me.
Tú me vas a buscar en la discoteca o en la casa de mi padre o ya tú sabes dónde tú voy a estar.
See, we looking for the Messiah in the wrong places.
Estamos buscando a Mesías en los sitios equivocados.
Searching all over for him and not looking in the scriptures.
Mirando por todos los lados y no buscando en las escrituras.
There's a message.
Es
You
un
didn't know where to
mensaje.
find me. Father, I believed on you, but I was always seeking you, but you never answered me. Where did you look?
Padre, yo te estaba buscando y no me contestabas, pero ¿a dónde estabas buscando?
To where did you try to find me?
¿A dónde me trataste de buscar?
How is it that you looked in the house of the Most High last?
¿Cómo es que buscaste la casa del Padre último?
Ain't that weird?
Eso no está como
I guess
mal.
I guess they forgot what type of child they had, because your normal 12-year-old is out there playing with his
Esther,
friends.
Esther,
Ellos
you
se olvidaron
no, Esther,
la
no,
niñez que
no,
tenían
you will
ellos.
never watch my child.
He's great with it.
I guess they forgot what kind of child.
Well,
Esther,
put a
could you
child
forget
in
your
the
son?
classroom.
Esther,
I'm
you
talking
ever gonna?
about
Esther, can you
say-
forget your son?
No.
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 Can you
no.
forget his personality? No. When you can't find your son, you know which best friends of his to call.
But like I'm saying, if they're with relatives, I don't understand why they wouldn't. Well, they don't have telephones, so they're not saying, "Hey, is my
Yeah,
kid
but you
up
could
there?"
send a runner to cousin Pookie in him house. You know, daggone well, you could find him fast. That didn't happen. Didn't you check Ray Ray? Then you check Pookie, Bebe and them. It ain't there. He missing.
Puede chequear con todos los primos fulano y fulana y ver que él no está ahí, no está perdido.
And you know when you're about to roll up out of a town and go back home or wherever they were going, check your kids.
Sabes que cuando se van a ir del pueblo, ir al otro pueblo, tienes que chequear sus hijos.
Mary wasn't so holy. Mary was holy now, but she needed a savior. She wasn't perfect.
María era santa, pero no tanta, porque ella no era perfecta, ella necesitaba el Salvador también.
That's why she's puzzled when she said, why didn't you know where to look for me?
Estaba equivocada o confundida ella, como cuando él le dijo, ¿por qué tú no sabías dónde buscarme?
By the way, did he know Mary was searching for him?
¿Él sabía que María lo buscaba? Didn't he know all things?
No, I think he knew things. The angels would tell him, hey, Mary's looking for you. Yeah, they'll find me. I'm here.
Que los ángeles le decían, que sería que la mamá la estaba buscando.
Well,
I mean, are you learning anything from this?
Estamos aprendiendo de esto.
You've been fed lies.
Nos dieron mentiras. Nos mintieron.
He wasn't hated by the Jews. They loved him. They sat in his presence for 3 days.
Lo amaban,
Amazed.
no lo odiaban.
Oh, the Jews rejected Jesus. Well, who was saying crucify him? The high priest.
Diciendo, crucifícalo.
The high priest.
yes, that's true.
Un sacerdote.
When he was in Rome, crucify him, and he was with the high priest. They were speaking for Yasharel, not the people.
Yeah, the people
Estaba
love
en
him.
Roma, estaba hablando por ellos estaban hablando por Yasharal, no el pueblo.
But they were amazed that this 12-year-old knew more than them. That's why.
Ellos
These
no
were querían que este niño tuviera más
in
que
the
ellos.
law, instructors, people
Yeah,
went to school their whole life. They went to yeshiva. That's where we get that from.
Estos doctores de las leyes o las doctrinas, ellos fueron a la universidad y tenían su educación, no querían que este niño supiera más que ellos.
He was hanging with them, asking them questions. They couldn't ask a question of him that he couldn't answer. So he was interrogating them.
Él los interrogar, ¿cómo se dice? Él les preguntaba preguntas a ellos y no podían contestar.
So both hearing them means they were saying to him, but he was also asking questions.
Sí, cuando él le preguntaba las cosas, ellos no podían contestar cuando le interrogaran.
And all that heard him were astonished.
Y todos los que los escucharon estaban como, no lo podían creer, estaban
Tónico.
at his,
asombrados.
at his understanding and his answers.
Y con sus contestas.
It's the verse 2 and 47 if you were having a hard time translating.
Oh, 2:47. Let me see. Where did that go? Todos los que lo oían se maravillaban de su inteligencia y de sus respuestas.
Yeah. See, they were just astonished. They didn't leave. I'm sure they didn't leave for 3 days either. Listen, if I'm listening to somebody like this, am I going to stay as long as they're staying talking? Yep.
Parece que ellos no se iban a quedar por esos días tampoco.
He was telling them what it really meant, what said in the scriptures, not what they had heard in cemetery.
Ellos le decía lo que de verdad significaban, no lo que aprendieron en la escuela seminaria.
They were astonished. Whoa, how can you have such understanding?
Estaban asombrados, cómo él podía tener tanto entendimiento.
I'm telling you, man, this is deep. This is crazy.
Es profundo esto, profundo.
When he spoke, he drew a crowd.
Cuando él hablaba, él traía
La masa.
la masa.
Where is this rejection?
La multitud. ¿A dónde estaba los que lo negaban? Let me see, rejection.
Rechazaban.
Rechazo.
It's the Pharisees.
It's the Pharisees. But we know why now, right? Why did they reject him?
¿Por qué lo rechazaron?
Here's your quiz. Now, as you read everything, why did the Pharisees reject Messiah?
¿Por qué lo rechazaron? No more than
Because they knew that the people were going to follow him and not them.
Not them.
That
What
was
about
it.
us? What are we going to do?
Sabía que la gente lo iban a seguir a él y no a ellos.
That's the problem. It had nothing to do with his doctrine. It had to do with their position.
Ese es el problema. No tenía que ver con doctrinas, pero con la posición.
What about the blind man that was healed?
Y el hombre ciego que él curó.
What were the Pharisees worried about?
¿Qué estaban los fariseos preocupados de?
Healing on the Sabbath, right?
Curando en el Shabbat.
And then that the man was faking being blind.
Y que el hombre mintió de ser ciego.
They wouldn't believe on the Messiah. That's why.
But why were they saying that the man was fake being blind?
¿Por qué ellos mintieron diciendo que el hombre estaba mintiendo? Because he was healed.
No,
Huh?
because
Yeah.
because then it would show that the Messiah, that Jesus was doing these miracles and that he was the Messiah.
And that
Then no one, they're going to say, well, why should we follow you?
No. If they said he must have been faking being blind, because what couldn't they do?
Oh, they couldn't do it. They couldn't
There you
heal him.
go. There you go. They did fake healings. They didn't do real healings.
Yeah.
Ellos hacían, ellos curaban como hacían milagros falsos.
So
Curaciones falsas.
how is he healing people? He must be fake. Well, we
¿Cómo
can't do
está
these things.
curando la gente? Será falso porque no podemos hacer estas cosas.
Then they accused his parents of lying.
Y después acusaron los padres de mentira.
And their parents were afraid of being kicked out of the temple. They said, hey, what do we have to do with him? Go ask him.
Los padres tenían miedo que los iban a botar del templo y ellos dijeron, vete, pregúntale a él te puede contestar.
Did they kick the blind man out? They say, you're no longer
They kicked him out because he answered him and said,
the
well,
truth.
whatever he is, all I know is he healed. I was first blind. Now I see.
Yeah.
Solamente dijo que yo no sé lo que él hizo antes de este milagro, pero que yo sé que yo era ciego y ahora veo.
In fact, he got kind of smart with them.
Sí, él le contestó como un poco alzado.
And then they accused him of being a sinner.
Y después lo llamaron pecador.
Right? And kicked him out.
Y lo botaron.
Just what the people are afraid of. They showed
Lo que la gente tenía miedo de.
You dare challenge us?
Tú nos vas a...
You don't challenge us. We challenge you.
Tú nos vas a desafiar a nosotros.
All right. You got to wrap it up.
Vamos a rapearlo.
¿Cómo así?
But do you see that the Christianity has taught you lies? And
El
has,
cristianismo ha enseñado mentiras.
and Zakar's point was a great point. They told you that the Jews were rejected, and therefore the world and all meant all people because of the rejecting of the Jews.
El mundo entonces estaba hablando, como ellos entendieron,
And rejection,
sabían.
and by the way, rejection of Judah only brings in the acceptance of Ephraim.
El rechazo de Judá solamente trae una cosa, es Efraín.
That's all that means.
Eso lo quiere decir.
The father had cast out Ephraim.
El padre sacó a Efraín
And Manasseh.
y Manasa.
When Judah rejects him,
Cuando Judá lo rechaza,
Ephraim gets the opportunity to be grafted back in. That's pertaineth the adoption.
Pedro.
That's what pertaineth the adoption is. The northern kingdom has to be adopted back in because they were kicked out.
Cuando adopten el tribu de el reino del norte otra vez, esa es la clave para poder reunir los tribus otra vez más.
That's where they were Greeks, or what we call Greco-Roman at that time. They were Grecians.
Greco-romano lo llamábamos ese tiempo.
Greek-speaking Jews.
Los judíos que hablaban griego.
And they went from speaking Greek to speaking
hablaban griego y pues latín.
To speaking many African dialects.
Muchos dialécticos africanos.
And then to speaking Spanish as we know it today.
Y hablar español como sabemos hoy.
And English, and Polynesian, so many other things. That's your northern kingdom.
Muchos otros idiomas.
Nowhere were they ever rejected and never going to be grafted back. That is a lie.
Ningún sitio iban a estar rechazados y no poder volver.
And as you see, he was well loved.
Tú ves, era bien amado.
If there was a Messiah coming to this world right now, speaking the promises of Yasharel to Yasharel, would he be rejected or would people listen to him?
Si venía el Mesías hoy en día y hablaba lo que sabe, entonces el pueblo lo aceptan o lo rechazan.
The people.
La gente.
I think the people will reject them.
rechazan.
I don't
Because
think
they're so stuck in Christianity.
I didn't say them. I didn't say Christians, the people.
Oh.
I'm talking about the local mi
La gente.
the people
They
for
would.
who's catching hell.
Oh no, they would definitely follow
They
him.
would listen.
Yeah,
Oh,
they would.
el pueblo sí escucharán, pueblo de él.
All right, let us pray.
Oremos.
Father, we thank you for this day.
Padre, te damos gracias. Okay, go ahead, Ars.
Padre, te damos gracias por este día.
Let me